What if I told you that Devin Booker, the current starting shooting guard for the Phoenix Suns, being drafted from the University of Kentucky with the number 13 pick in the 2015 NBA draft, starting from Moss Point High School in Mississippi as the number one shooting guard in his state, to be the next biggest star in the NBA? Let's talk about that. So as we have already seen through the past 2 years of Devin Booker's career, he has not only proved he is the future of the NBA, like he's one of the new rising stars under the age of 25, but he's also proven to be a legitimate all-star, not only for the Phoenix Suns, but a force to be reckoned with against guys like LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, and all those other veterans that are still playing in the NBA. Devin Booker has an uprising that's on the way. So how is everyone doing today? My name is Jay Red, and today we're going to be discussing the life of Devin Booker all the way up until right now, and giving my thoughts and feelings on whether Devin Booker is going to be one of the best shooting guards the NBA has seen since Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right into it. Devin Armani Booker was born on October 30th, 1996 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's the son of former NBA player Melvin Gordon, who was named the Big 8 Player of the Year during the time he was playing at Missouri. Booker always grew up with his mother, while Melvin would play internationally, and Booker was always taught one thing by his father before he would go out and play basketball with some of the bigger names in the NBA and even international. He was taught that basketball IQ is just as important as natural athleticism. Booker always grew up on that statement, and he has proven throughout his high school days, college days, and now playing in the NBA that basketball IQ is very important when playing the game of basketball. So going into high school, Devin Booker played for his junior varsity and varsity teams during his freshman year in Michigan. And then going into his sophomore year, he moved to Mississippi with his father back home where he used to live to help his basketball career, which mean that he would leave his mother behind just so he could pursue his dream of becoming a really good basketball player. This was really tough on the situation for Devin Booker because he lived in a more suburban community his entire life, and now he's growing up in a more black dominant community where he could develop his skill along the likes of Melvin Gordon and anybody else that grew up in the state of Mississippi. So following in the footsteps of his father, Devin went to Moss Point High School, where Melvin was recognized for his accomplishments. Before Devin even took the floor for Moss Point, Melvin Gordon was even signed to be the assistant coach to help Devin out with his game. And to make the move really helped Devin Booker in his career, because with Melvin helping Devin out, he was starting to fall in love with the game more, and he was starting to shoot the ball very well. Melvin even gave this statement about Devin. He kept saying he always shot with that perfect form. Seeing it, I would never let him shoot another way but the correct way, regardless to whether he was shooting on a big basket or small basket, big ball, small ball, whatever. He was always shooting with correct form. As you could tell by that statement, it still stands true to this day because Devin has still been a sharpshooter even throughout his high school days. He was a sharpshooter for Moss Point High School, and it's carried over into his career. So throughout his 3 years at Moss Point, he pretty much averaged over 30 points a game. In his senior year, he's the school's all-time leading scorer with 2,518 points, named the 2014 McDonald's All-American, and the number one shooting guard in the state of Mississippi. During his senior year, he was recruited by Kentucky, Michigan State, Michigan, Missouri, and Florida. And despite Kentucky having a stack load of talent coming in, Devin joined the likes of Karl Anthony Towns, Tyler Ulis, and Trey Lyles for the 2014-2015 NCAA basketball season. Going into Devin Booker's freshman year, He was part of the platoon system that made Kentucky so special in the 2014-2015 NCAA basketball season. They went 38-1 through the entire season, including the NCAA tournament, which is pretty crazy to think about that Devin Booker was a part of that, and he made a huge contribution to that platoon system. He didn't start any games. He did play 38 games overall, and for those 38 games, he averaged about 10 points per game, less than a block, less than a steal a game. He averaged about 1 assist a game and 2 rebounds. He shot 82% from the free throw line, 41% from the three-point line, and 47% from field goal range, averaging about 21 minutes a game. So you can see that minutes restriction did bring his stats down from what he was averaging in high school. He went from averaging about 37 points a game to averaging just about 10 in college. And you can't really blame John Calipari and the rest of the University of Kentucky because they had a stack load of talent on that team, like the Harrison twins, the Kari Johnson, Willie Cauley-Stein, Trey Lyles, Karl Anthony Towns, Alex Poythress. The list goes on and on for how much talent Devin Booker was dealing with at Kentucky. And to think that he was a part of that is pretty amazing to think about. To make that much of a contribution to the Kentucky squad, to average about 10 points under 20 minutes a game, or at least 20 minutes a game, is pretty awesome. And Devin Booker, if you look back at his college career, he had some highlights. He could dunk the ball. He was more of a sharpshooter, but he was not like top 10. He was not going to go top 10 from what I could tell. I knew he was going to be a lottery pick, but I knew he was going to be top 10. I knew he was going to be a late lottery pick. He wasn't going to be a top guy like Karl Anthony Towns or even Willie Cauley-Stein or Trey Lyles. That's what I thought at the time. But then I realized I was wrong. And with the 13th pick in the 2015 NBA draft, Devin Booker got selected to the Phoenix Suns, where now I look back at Devin Booker's college career, and now I realize he made a huge contribution to that Kentucky squad and to further his career.
With the 13th pick in the 2015 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns select Devin Booker from the University of Kentucky.
So Booker is headed to the Valley of the Sun, and now 4 Kentucky Wildcats have been picked in the lottery. That ties the record for most lottery selections from one school in a single draft. North Carolina also had 4 players that were lottery picks back in the 2005 draft. And Devin Booker, second best among major conference freshmen in three-point shooting, a little bit better than 41%.
Just before Devin Booker even took the floor, he already made NBA history by becoming the first 18-year-old to play in the NBA after just playing 1 year of college ball. So you could say he was set up for greatness. Throughout the first part of his rookie season, he was seen as a backup shooting guard, but then at the end of December, an injury came to Eric Bledsoe, which caused Devin Booker to be the starting shooting guard for the rest of the year. Before he came into the starting lineup, he was only averaging 5.4 points a game, and he was averaging less than a rebound and assist per game in only 14 minutes. After the move to make him into the starting lineup, his production began to be noticeable. Even the Suns GM, Ryan McDowell, even said this: "We thought he had a lot of potential. We loved his character and work ethic. His size and his shooting ability stood out. I think sometimes when you're on a team with a lot of talent like Devin was at Kentucky, all that talent can do one of two things. It can mask some of your deficiencies if you do lack in some areas. I think in Devin's case, it was the opposite of that." So you could tell that the Suns GM even believed in him. Devin even continued to do great things in his rookie year. He became the 3rd youngest player in NBA history to score 30 points and the 5th youngest in NBA history to record a double-double, and it was also the youngest in the Suns' history. But it doesn't stop there. He also became the youngest contestant to participate in the three-point contest, joining the likes of Stephen Curry, Kyle Korver, and Dennis Scott. He even finished 3rd that year behind the Splash Brothers of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. During the month of March in his rookie season, he led all rookies in points with 22.4 points a game and 4.9 assists a game as well. At the end of his first year, he finished with over 1,000 points, making him the 4th youngest player to reach that accomplishment during their rookie year. He averaged about 13 points in his rookie year. He was even named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team, becoming the first Suns player to be named to an All-Rookie team since Amari Stoudemire in 2003, and was 4th in the Rookie of the Year voting. But what he continues to do does not stop. He also becomes the first Suns player to record consecutive games with 38 or more points since Tom Chambers during his next season. The Suns GM also made this statement. He said, "What strikes a lot of people about Devin is all the other stuff he can do. He's really developed his ball handling, his pick and roll game. He thinks the game at a high level. But I'll be honest, we had no idea he'd be able to do this quickly. Devin has done unbelievably well, not just on the court, but representing the franchise and the community as well. He was a bright spot for us in a difficult year." So finally, we get to my favorite part of the video. Devin Booker became the 6th player in NBA history to score 70 points in a game, joining Wilt Chamberlain, David Robinson, David Thompson, Elgin Baylor, and even Kobe Bryant as the only players to score 70 points in a game. This makes him the youngest to accomplish this feat at only 20 years old. Think about that for a moment, folks. He's only 20 years old and put up 70 points in a game against the Boston Celtics. At the end of his second season, he averaged over 22 points a game, a 9-point increase after his rookie season, and even becoming the 4th place guy on the NBA scoring list before he turns 21 with 2,774 points, and only trusts Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James. So as you can tell, throughout Devin Booker's first 2 years, not only has he made NBA history, he's also made Suns history, franchise history with some of the records he's put up. Like some of the things that Devin Booker has done for the Suns and the NBA, this is going to be looked back on for years to come. Even his 70-point game, people are going to be looking back on this day and say, Devin Booker is amazing. He's one of the best shooting guards that we probably have. So as you can tell, guys, Devin Booker is one of the next rising stars in the NBA right now. Not only has he made a legacy for himself in only his first 2 years, but he's only 20 years old. He's not even 21 yet. He's turning 21 in like October, November, something like that. And he's already accomplished so many things. 5th youngest to record a double-double. 3rd youngest to put up 30 points in his rookie year. Led all rookies in his rookie season with points and assists. Was named to the All-Rookie First Team, becoming the first Suns player since Amari Stoudemire, putting up 70 points ever since Wilt Chamberlain, David Robinson, David Thompson, Elgin Baylor, and Kobe Bryant accomplishing that feat. Devin Booker, he is on the rise of becoming one of the best shooting guards in NBA history. Yes, it is only going to be his 3rd season, but right now, we got Devin Booker in our thoughts. He is a pretty good player, and he's going to be for the next whatever so years he continues to play. So be on the lookout for him. I don't think he's going to win an MVP, but he might be voted to All NBA First Team. He might be like maybe more than a 10-time All-Star at least. And his team, the Phoenix Suns, they are a young and up-and-coming team, especially with Eric Bledsoe and Devin Booker being the backcourt for that team. And then with T.J. Warren, and then Alex Len, and then Marquise Chris coming up. Watch out for the Phoenix Suns in the upcoming years. They may be young, but wait. They're going to have an uprising. They may be a really solid team in the upcoming years. That's just my opinion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any thoughts and opinions about Devin Booker, just let me know down in the comment section below. And if you guys have not subscribed to the channel already, I do videos like this. I talk about NBA players. I talk about NBA history. I talk about anything related to the NBA. Even the NBA playoffs, I'm going to be bringing footage of that when the NBA finals come around. I do anything related to basketball and anything related to sports. So if you guys want to see something that I have not done on the channel yet, be sure to tell me down in the comment section below. I'll be sure to do that. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Have an awesome day. And if you guys have any ideas of what I want to do, be sure to tell me. I'll do it right away. So, as always, guys, be sure to check out my recent videos. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all later.